okay, I feel better. How about you?
Very therapeutic.
Yes.
So once you knew that you were casted, how long until when you found out and then filming started?
No, vetting took 5 months. So, oh yeah, there's a lot of steps, a lot of vetting steps, which I'm not allowed to tell you, but trust me, they know who I am from stem to stern.
Right.
And I understand that. They don't want crazies, they want fun, but they don't want craze, they don't want dangerous people, they don't want unhealthy people. So it makes sense. And again, with all that demand or the number of applications, they've got to just make sure they're putting the right people in the right places.
So what did you do to prepare yourself for the show? Now, one thing I don't know how any woman packs their suitcase for a show where you have to constantly wear gowns and heels and you need accessories for all those outfits. How does one even mentally prepare themselves for that? I don't think I have enough clothes for that.
Yeah.
How did you prepare
It
for
wasn't
all of
easy.
that?
I had to shop because I didn't have gowns. And the few that I had were for events that I'd gone to, a gala here and there. But so I had to shop and whew, that wasn't easy because I'm not by nature, I'm not a shopper. Oh, there's some people who love shopping, love going to the malls and all that. I'm not one of those. But I got help from friends
Yeah.
and then packing was a whole nother issue because they gave you this list of things that you should bring and those that you should not be concerned about, and gave us a suitcase limit. I'm not even going to tell you what that is. Oh, and talk about squish, squish, squish. Boy, oh boy, it was a lesson in packology, if there is such a thing, because it was my oldest daughter who does pack very well. She travels to Europe and all this stuff. That heifer can pack. So she came and helped me get it all in there. Now, when I was ready to come home after the show, it's a whole different problem because I had to buy another suitcase to get because I couldn't do what she did. But anyways, that was, and then of course with sharing a room with three other ladies and 10, 12 suitcases, whew, what a challenge.
Who
What a challenge.
who were your roommates?
My roomies were Leslie Fema, the Gary's
Oh, no. That
second
sounds
choice,
fun.
yes, and Joan Vassos, the ultimate Golden Bachelorette. She was in the bunk above me, and Christina. So the four of us were a unit,
That
and
sounds like a fun room.
it was fun. It was fun. We didn't have a whole lot of time for fun because we were only in the room to change. You have 10 minutes, we're all running around like crazy, stepping in each other's suitcases. Where's my this? Where's my that? My makeup? Where's my comb? Oh God, anybody seen my such and such? And then of course in the day, we'd all be exhausted, flop in bed, literally. It's like, oh. So we didn't spend a whole lot of time in the rooms, but
Yeah, like how long is filming usually throughout the day? Like, do you really have much time to sleep in between filming? Like, what's that? You have to have a lot of energy.
yeah, we did. We had to suck it up somehow. And because mornings were 8-ish, 9-ish, evenings, just depending on if we were on a group date off site, then we'd get it back in about 7 or 8 at night and flop down and maybe grab a snack or two. Um, and for me, it was about keeping organized because I love organization and being organized, and that was a challenge for me, just not knowing where my shit was. Excuse my language, but I needed to know where my shit was, and I couldn't keep my arms around that. And that was a challenge for me. And but I survived. I survived.
Did it, like, how was it constantly having cameras in your face? Because, I mean, I don't know about you, but we're all human, and there's days where I wake up and I just don't feel like talking, or I
Hmm.
just don't feel like putting on a fake smile. You know, did you ever go through times like that where you're like, oh, what'd I sign up for? Because, now, you're waking up, you have someone in your face, and you have to hurry up, and you're being rushed constantly. And were you ever like, this is a lot?
Yes, there were moments when I thought, God, can we just take a nap? Can I have an hour or two to just be me, be with me, away from everyone? And yes, there are always cameras. You never knew which one was filming you. They're always angled some way or another. Cameras, sound techs, other people running around. I don't know what their roles are, but they're there. So there's always somebody around, groups of people around, and the producers. Everybody's a producer. I don't know what level of producers they are, but there's producers and um, so sometimes you have a film crew over there filming these two or three people, another film crew over here doing their thing, and it was an interesting world for me. Very interesting. Like I said, I've been on commercials, so I know the camera thing, I know the mic thing, I know but this was greater because there were so many people, so many castmates that was different than anything I'd experienced. And I'm sure it was different for all of us, not just it wasn't about Sandra, it was about all of us.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
we all handle things differently,
right.
but amazing cast. I mean,
Oh,
they did a great job, seriously. Is there anything that you wish was shown on TV? Anything that maybe you experienced or went through, or was there like a time where you were like, wow, why didn't they show that?
heck yeah. And or why did they show that? I had some,
I know
oh my God,
I know what you're thinking, but I'm not going to
yes.
mention it.
Yeah, there were things. For example, because the show aired 1 hour each week, which meant pretty much like 44, 45 minutes of show time. They had to squeeze in a group date, a one-on-one date, and a rose ceremony. What America did not see was all the individual chats we had with The Bachelor. So they might have picked up one or two, but there was start of 23 of us and then whittled down to 15 and down and down and down. So there were maybe time for a little to show a couple of three more chats, but pretty much we talked all the time, and America didn't see that. Didn't see the gifts that we got. It's my gold football.
Wow.
Yes.
I
I didn't
love that.
I didn't see that I pulled these out for you. Got a football jersey from
Love
from
it.
the batch. Uh, let's see, some other trinkets that and I wasn't the only one to receive personal gifts. Other women did too, but we never saw it, which is kind of too bad. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then there were a lot of interviews that we did, just one-on-one, like we're doing now. They would ask questions and we would respond. You guys didn't see those. Uh, there was one group date we had, which was the talent show, and I told jokes, and I did a great job. I have to pat myself on the back. I think when they aired it, they showed a portion of one joke that was fun, but I had 5 minutes of comedy that I was very proud of. And I just knew I was going to be the star of that show, but they didn't show it. But it
That's
was
why you need a podcast.
that's why I need a podcast. Hmm.
See? You get to edit, show what you want, say what you want.
Yeah,
I might be convincing you.
you might be.
But
Mhm.
that, thank you so much for showing that jersey and the
Yeah,
football. I appreciate you having that ready. You need to do a photo shoot with that.
I should. I
You need
should
to
do
do a
that
cute little golden football photo shoot for like
on my
football
Instagram.
season.
On my Instagram or something. How about this?
Ah,
Oh,
love
this is
it.
yes. I have so many mementos from the show. This is a photo. I don't know if you can see that of my cast.
I
Of my
love that. Oh, I
castmates in
see
there.
you.
Yeah, I'm up in there. Where am I? Up, right? How do I show you the other
I
hand? It's
think you're
on.
right there. Right
Bingo.
there
Yeah, up there you go.
in the red. Yep.
Yeah.
I,
Uh,
I think I saw you right away.
oh, thank you. I just everything's backwards here. Mm.
I know it's hard. Let's talk about first night when you came out of the limo.
Mhm.
So I would say you came in with a bang, but you actually came in with a bleep. And
Yes.
that's when we first saw Sandra's Zen practice on
Miss Sophisticate,
display for
Miss
America to
Sophisticate
see.
cussing. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your Zen practice and what made you want to come out and introduce yourself in that way and how it was perceived, and do you regret coming out in that way?
Mm. It's something that my producer and I worked out together.
That's when you said, I'm going to do this.
Mhm.
Okay, so then
Well,
how did that go?
actually, he and I developed it together. So it was just something that we thought would have an impact and it would look not like me because I look like a school teacher or a librarian, right? So for me to come out in this red dress, with something like that would kind of was a bang. And so I guess it worked. The feedback from that, it depends on who you're talking to. What I found is that young folks, my kids' age, for example, thought it was cool and hip and how clever and all that. People my age thought, whoa, that was what? They were not happy, thought that that was beneath me. So I think it was what's the word I'm looking for? Generational response. Young folks don't care about foul language so much. People my age were not pleased. Mm, okay, so can't please everyone.
You can't, and I mean, you don't really strike me as somebody who cares about what people think anyway.
Well, sometimes I do, sure. Sometimes in the back of my head, really, I'm thinking about my kids, literally. What is my daughter? What's the oldest one gonna think? What's the youngest one gonna think? Am I going to embarrass them? Will they be proud of me? So I'm always considering them because that they're my loves, my world, they're my family. So I have to be
Right.
cognizant of what I think will impact their lives.
So if you could go back, would you change your entrance or would you do it exactly the same how you did?
I might do something different. One of the ideas I had was because I was a racquetball player, not a pickleballer. And so I had this idea of, and had painted a racket gold and a pickleball paddle gold. And I'd wrapped a bow around crisscross. So I thought that would be a way to introduce myself to Gary, to let's combine our fun of life or our athletic endeavors. You try
Right.
mine, I'll try yours. Just words to that effect. But I guess that just didn't have enough bang. So,
I like how you did it. I
yeah.
wouldn't change it.
Oh, thank
I
you.
wouldn't change it.
See,
It's
you're
so
that generation that loves it, right?
I am, but you know what? But honestly, I'd probably also do something like that, but it would probably come off much more aggressive.
Whoa. Okay.
Not that I would want it to be. That's just how I'm perceived sometimes. It's the Philly in me.
Absolutely.
We definitely learned a lot from watching the Golden franchise. So
Wasn't that a
it,
genius thing to do? Don't you think? Just doing Goldens, the whole concept of Golden Bachelor, Golden
I,
Bachelorette.
I just think you all were very real and authentic. Because a lot of the seasons, once again, not to bash the franchise, obviously I watch it and I love it, right? But a lot of it could seem repetitive.
Mhm.
You also see a lot of articles that cast members look identical to each other, like you got a comparison to how the cast looks. And that all comes down to beauty standards nowadays on social media and TV. TV casting producers, they look for this certain look,
Mhm.
but I think the Golden franchise really put a great spin on how, love doesn't have an age. We all grow up and we all have to face it. Might as well embrace it, have fun with it. And you ladies really, I think, inspired a lot of people my age, especially like me, for example. I'm not married, I don't have children. And I get told often that I need to hurry up. I don't have much time left. And that's not true. I have years, I have my whole life, So I think it was a great idea and I will keep saying it. They couldn't have picked a better cast.
He did well,
So
didn't he? I agree with you. Did very well. Not only for my season, but then Joan's Golden Bachelorette season. Great group of guys.
don't get me started. Don't
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
also very iconic. Those men.
The Mansion
Uh,
Men, they call
I,
them. Yeah, the Mansion
we
Men.
are the mansion men.
Right. So they did such a good job casting that show.
They really, and honestly, I said to myself, they could keep doing it, but I don't think there will ever be a cast like the first two, the first group of ladies and the first group of men. I mean, like, and that's just, it's like, whenever they redo a movie, remake a movie, the second one's never as good as the first.
Right. I know what you're saying. The sequel is usually not as good as the original, and
Right.
yeah,
Except Home Alone.
except Home Alone. You're right. Right. Oh, you're right. But yeah, I think we were trailblazers and they did a great job. And I think every season they want to mimic what we did, make it better if they can. And they probably will. They will. It'll get better. It,
Yeah, but I'll always be a
you're
team
partial.
first cast.
Oh, I love it.
Seriously.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But you did get to revisit the mansion
I did.
recently
Yes.
when your sister Andra was on Mel's season.
Correctamundo.
So how's Andra doing?
She's doing fine. She did not get a rose the first night, so a little disappointing for her. I was disappointed, uh, but that's the way life is. But she was excited to be cast, and then I was excited that they wanted me to introduce her, and so that was fun. We did
Right.
some we did some B-roll, which means we did some off-site um, filming. She and I were doing some exercises and having a conversation, but since she did not get a rose that night, they edited that out, of course. But
Yeah, that stinks.
I know it does, but
So production asked you to come back and take part in her entrance. That's
yeah.
nice. That must have felt good for her to have you there for support.
I think she was grateful for me being there, and I'm glad she was casted because gave me just another chance of small visibility there, and
Right.
surprised Mel because I had met him at an event in Beverly Hills well, just after they had named him as the Golden Bachelor. And I was at an event that ABC had held, and so I met him and we talked some football. So he recognized me when I got out of the limo, because I guess you remember he called me, "You're the veteran," he said. So there was some recognition there on his part, but it still kind of caught him off guard, which was the goal, see.
Yes, but they definitely put a lot of emphasis on like his podcast interview and talking about I feel like they really tried hard to push that narrative, but none of the women really seemed to care
No.
about what he said.
Right. Well, or if they did, they didn't express it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure it caught everyone off guard. Like, why? What? Are they still going to go with him? Uh, from the social media posts that I'd read, there was a lot of people saying, "I'm not going to watch the show. He's not what we." There was all kinds of negative, and I told some friends of mine, I said, "These people who say they're not going to watch the show, they'll watch it.
I know, right? They're the
They're going to
first
watch
ones
it."
watching.
Nothing else out of curiosity. They want to know how he finagled his way out of that. But they watched it.
For sure.
Yeah,
So Andra's your twin, right?
correct.
Are you anything alike?
Um, I In certain ways, we are. We sound alike. Our voices are fairly similar. Um, we, hmm, I guess we're alike. I don't know. I don't think about that. I probably know more things that we're not alike. Like we have different uh, preferences in guys. We have um, different preferences in sports. Like she could care less about football, basketball, and I love sports. Uh, I like wearing my glasses. That's just kind of me. She doesn't need. She. There was a point in time when she wore them, and she decided she didn't want to wear them anymore, so she doesn't wear them. So
Well, as an optician, I get that a lot.
yeah,
No one wants to wear their glasses ever. It drives me nuts.
right. It's so me now. I just, hey, when I'm not wearing them, it's like, well, one, I can't see very well, but two, it's like something's wrong. Oh, the world is different. So
Right.
I just feel, and as you can see, most of my eyewear is more school teacher looking than it is hip or cute or sassy or whatever. It's just librarian looking.
No, I think you have a great face for glasses
Oh, thank you. Well,
as an
that's coming from
optician.
you as an optician. Sure, that's a big compliment. Thank you. Thank you.
And I don't lie. I don't say if I don't want to say it, I just don't say it. So I mean that.
Thank you.
I mean that.
Thank you.
So let's talk about after the Golden Bachelor. Teresa gets chosen. She gets the final rose. You have your bachelorette party. You were there. There were some dancers there. And then you showed up to the wedding with one of the dancers as your guest. Tell me a little bit about that, because that was amazing.
Oh, well, actually, I was told the night before that I was going to have a guest, and I said, "Oh, okay, who?" And they told me who he was, and I remember him. I said, "Oh, okay. Is the rest of the group coming? The rest of the God, what's the name of these guys?
Dales, right?
Chippendales. That's the word. I'm sorry.
They
So
are okay.
yeah. So I said, are the rest of the Chippendales coming? No, just Shylon. Oh, okay. Oh, I felt special. So yeah, he was my date. And you know what? The nicest young man. I'm telling you, he was respectful and mannerly, and made sure that I had a seat or if I wanted something to drink. He was just being like a real escort, a real personal escort. So I appreciated that. And then
No,
they
that's
told me I was
awesome.
going to introduce him. They said, find a way to introduce him. Okay, so I had to think all night, how am I going to do this? So I came up with introducing his six pack as his roommates.
So you weren't upset with the idea that they kind of just asked you last, or didn't ask you, kind of told you last minute, this is your guest. You kind of just went along with it and had fun with it.
Of course, because that made me feel special because they could have paired him up with someone else, but they didn't. They paired him up with moi. And so I felt a little special. That's why I asked them, were the rest of the Chippendales coming as well? And they said no. So I kind of knew that that gave me a little something that that the rest of the ladies didn't have. But then after the wedding, I let him
Do
listen to
his
me.
thing.
Yeah, I said co-mingle with the ladies because some of my castmates they wanted to touch and feel and engage him, and I said, "Yeah, you can have it. It's okay. I don't own you." But again, he was a nice guy.
No, that's awesome. I like the way you think. You have a very positive perspective on a lot of things.
Thank you. Yes, I try.
So, are you dating now?
I recently met a guy, so I guess you could call it dating. I don't know yet that he's the one. I take my time with these things. Um, uh, I've had many dates. But many first dates, many Many, and I've had some many Mini dates, coffee shop. I know I'm not interested. Gotta go, kind of thing. But so I've been dating, which is fun. Just haven't met Mr. Final companion, final partner, but I will. I'm not. I don't stress over it all. I know he's got to
Yeah.
like football. Well, I shouldn't say he's got to like it. It's a plus if he likes football. Then I know we've got one important thing in my life that I can share with him. So, and that's important to me.
Yeah, it's nice to have stuff in common, but it's also nice when you're not exactly alike because they can introduce you to things that, you don't normally do.
That they're interested in that I would not even think to do. Exactly. I met a gentleman who's an avid bicycler, and I that's not something I would do, but I thought, oh, you know what? I could take a 2 or 3 mile trip. That's not going to kill me. So we did that. That was fun. It was a good one. He's a good guy.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, life's all about experiencing new things, meeting new people. You learn a lot from meeting new people.
I tell guys when I meet them, like, you honey, you don't have to wine and dine me. Just let's just go have fun. Just make sure I eat. Don't let me forget to eat, but let's just grab a bite. We don't have to make a whole dinner, but I'm not opposed to it. It's just I think guys have been socialized that you got to take a lady out and show her a good time, and buy an expensive bottle of something, and uh, but that's not Sandra. You're wasting your money.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of the same way. Like my ideal date isn't a sit down dinner. That's kind of awkward for me.
Good
I'd
for you.
rather just do an activity,
Good for you.
or see a game, go to a show, not a
Yeah.
movie.
Oh,
I feel like the movies is like a big cop out for like someone who doesn't want to like talk during a date. You know what I mean? It's like
true.
you're just kind of forced to stare at a screen and be quiet. I feel like the movies is a cop out. It's like a red flag first date for me,
Mm-hmm.
but an activity like, playing a sport or, going to like a carnival or something, or I think that's a good way to get to know somebody for
Right. But
sure.
at the movies, you're rubbing shoulders, you can hold hands, and I mean you can maximize a movie date. But that's another story. That's a whole nother subject
I'm
matter.
sure you could think of some ways to make it interesting. I'm sure you have
Well,
some tricks up your sleeve.
I'm not gonna admit to that.
Where are you finding these guys? Are people sliding into your DMs
I get
or
the sliders. Never heard that term until I was on set, and extra came and interviewed us, and the interviewer said, "Are you're gonna have a lot of guys sliding into your DMs?" And I said to her, "What's a DM? What's that?" I didn't know. That's the thing. I didn't know anything about social media before that show. Literally did not know what social media was. Didn't care. Never. No idea. And so she kind of explained DM and Instagram, and I said, "Oh, okay. Well, okay, thanks." And I said, "Can I have your phone number in case I have more questions about this?" And
Yeah.
she's, and then one of the camera guys off to the side says, "I'll explain DM to you too." Okay, thanks. When I was on the bus leaving the show the night of the rose ceremony, and the producer came on. He said, "Sandra, you're going to need an Instagram account." And I said, "Instagram? What for?" And he said, "Look, just get an Instagram account and tell me what the handle is." Okay. So I had to call my daughter and say, "I need an Instagram account. Can you come up with a name for me?" I had no idea what this Instagram thing was. I'm 75 years old at the time. What? Now I know. After I did my first posting or two, I had 17 followers. And I called my daughter. I said, 17 people are following me. I thought that was the most exciting thing.
She's
I
like, "Oh, just wait."
said, "People are following me." I said, "My God, no one's ever followed me before. I've never followed anyone before. Do I have to follow people?" She said, "Yes, Mom, you have to follow people." Okay, it's a whole new experience.
Never too late to learn.
I guess, yes.
So to me is that you have quite a roster coming up. So if I'm not mistaken, it looks like you'll be featured on another show coming up,
Yeah.
Bachelor Mansion Takeover.
Yes,
What
I'm
could you
on
tell
that.
us about that?
I cannot tell you anything. All I know is I can. I mean, God, the documents, the NDAs, the non-disclosures you sign, like they'll, send me to jail, take my kids off to Venezuela or something. I don't know, but um, we can't talk about it. But they did tell us it'll likely air in February. I know that much. I had to get a whole new wardrobe for it.
Did you film?
Oh, it's filmed. Yes,
You filmed, okay.
yes, yes. So
Okay.
that's over.
Okay, I can't wait. I think it's only 6 episodes, right?
And I don't even know that. I
I
can't
think
tell.
I read that somewhere. Only
Okay.
six ep that's very short, even shorter than, you know, when you watch The Bachelor, it's like, wow, it's hometowns already. So it's like this is gonna be even faster. But I'll be rooting for you.
Thank you.
I
Thank you so
can't
much.
wait. I'll
And then let me just throw a plug in for something else, if I might. I'm going to be part of the entertainment on a cruise.
yes, yep, I know the
You know about
Bachelor
that?
Nation cruise
Bachelor Nation let me start all over. Bachelor
vacation at
Nation
sea.
Vacation at Sea. That's a mouthful. But anyway, so if you want to be on this 4-day cruise to the Dominican Republic, they're booking cabins now. I think it's going to be fun. What a clever idea. So mhm.
When does that set sail? In 2026, right?
Correct. November 16 through 20, 2026.
Awesome.